Happy Sunday. All right. Oh, Susie's here. Hello, hello. How are you? All right. So I hope you guys are having a lovely Sunday. Let me know what your plans are today. Maybe some fun things that you have coming up for the week. I know that there's been plenty of birthdays, a lot of Aries birthdays out there. So if you have a birthday coming up, let us know. And if you don't know who I am Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. And today we're going to be diving into our weekly reading. So our weekly collective intuitive reading for the week, starting for today all the way until Saturday of the upcoming week. All right, so we have some wonderful homies coming on in. The Night Daughters Oracle is here. She says, "Marry me, everyone." Kayla, hey, how are you? As you can see, we have a lovely, beautiful, warm day here today. Lady Night, what is up? And if I rotate this up, beautiful blue skies. I can dig it. All right. So I have I have a few decks here with me. So if you guys want to grab your decks for this reading, then go ahead and do so, or get yourself nice and grounded so you can intuit some messages, so you can maybe channel some messages, and that would be fantastic. But I have a new deck that actually came in, and I've really been loving it. I really like the art. I think that it works really well with my intuition. So I have the Solitary Witch Oracle, and this is a Lucy Cavendish deck, but the artwork is by Lady Victoria, and I think that I don't know, I just really like it. It's really good in my opinion, and it's all art is subjective, but I dig it. So I thought that I would use this deck today. I also have the Oracle of the Witch with me and a few other things. Daily crystal inspiration. Thought we bust out a crystal deck, and an essential oils deck. Some of these decks were ones that I used yesterday for client readings. So I thought, what the heck? I think it would be really good for the live chat as well. And of course, last but not least, my Wally's World Oracle. So this is my little Wally Wallito. If you are interested in Wally's World, the link for that is down below. You can also find it in my shop, kittensweightsandtarot.com. All righty. So let's put those there. And let's see, we have some more friends coming in. Night Daughter says, "I have my Wisdom of the Oracle, Oracle of the Fairies, Wild Muse, and my new mystical journey ready to go." Hey, look at you. And Night Oracle says, "I love Lucy." And Susie saying, "Merry meet to everyone." Lady Night is envying the sunshine. You know what? We'll push it through the screen. We'll give you some sunshine through the screen. Soak it up, girl. All right. So I have my little notes here for our stuff for today. And I want to start off with some gratitude, some thank yous. So, first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who is jumping into the chat right now. Those people are chatting, and those people who maybe are lurking or maybe will lurk later. That's fine. Thank you, thank you. And everybody who is subscribed to the channel, thank you to all of my wonderful 9,100 and some subscribers. You guys are amazeballs. And thank you to my YouTube members. You'll notice who my YouTube members are because they have a little colored kitten head next to their name. They're all in chakra colors depending on the amount of months they've been a YouTube member. But Susie, thank you, and Liesel and Heather and Kayla, who's in here, Jamie and Jamie Lynn, and also, of course, my Patreon homies. So if you're wondering what is Patreon and what are all the perks there, since there are different tiers, the link for Patreon is down below if you're curious, if you're interested. But thank you to Surian and Brandy, Samara, Kayla, Jason, Charles, Jamie, Alexandra, and Dana. Thank you guys so, so very much. And also for the people who sometimes just out of the kindness of their hearts, they send super thanks on my videos, which I thought was just really kind. Thank you so much. And people that send little PayPal me tips and stuff for people that I've read for. It's deeply, deeply appreciated. So thank you. Thank you. All righty. Okay, so let me keep my little notes here. I have my little like table of goodies off to the side here with all our fun stuff for today. Um, let's see, let's go back here. Night Daughter says, "I donated for a reading on another channel, but the reader refused to accept it. And since Super Chat doesn't do refunds, I lost $2. Can someone else accept it asking for a later time for, oh, you mean like in other channels? Lady Knight says, my man in Minnesota is getting new snow again right now. It's still snowing in other parts of the US? Like, what the heck? What? Susie said, Caitlin, sorry to hear about that. I think it would be gone. Yeah, I don't know about the like refunds on super chats and things like that. So, um, I mean, that would be something to look into that I would look into maybe as well. But hopefully, the person that you had donated to, maybe they can look into it as well. Susie said, Maria, wow, in spring. I know, right? Um, oh, you guys are very comforting to each other. So nice. Ishani, what up? You know what? I just I just sent a response to Ishani's comment in one of my videos. So Ishani, is so lovely to see you here. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Caitlin. That's awful. Oh my goodness. Well, hopefully we can send some good vibes here and we'll have ourselves a good time. So, whatever it is that's going on in your lives, I hope that these Sunday chats that we have with all of our wonderful friends that are in here and new friends that like to pop in and just kind of growing our lovely family, that we you know, create this wonderful place where we can feel open and honest and that we can receive healing and help others heal as well, where we feel comfortable in being ourselves and giving our messages. And, so I'm just, I love these because I think that sometimes it helps to uplift whatever moods or things that we're going through and gives us a more positive outlook, at least some good vibes, good juju for whatever it is that we're going through. So hopefully that's what you guys get here today. And so said, good vibes indeed. Lady Knight said Minnesota didn't get a calendar this year. Yeah, I think, yeah. I think the calendar man was asleep at the wheel there. Um, Night Daughter said, always a good vibe with you. Also, I leave for New York in 4 days. That's right. You have a concert to go to. That is fabulous. Excited. Ishani said, Susie, it was so nice to see you in one of the videos with Tara, Heather, and other friends. I really loved doing that video, by the way. If you guys haven't seen it, it was the 5D panel. It was a 3-part series. So definitely go check it out. Susie wishing Caitlin safe travels. Ishani saying thank you. So happy to be here today. And Susie said, Ashani, thank you. Honored to be with Tara, Dana, and Lisa. All right. Okay. So, let's cast our elemental circle. And as you know, magic starts right here because we have the divine in all of us. We are all one. We are source energy. So I'm going to use my little fingertip here and we're going to cast that elemental circle. So the intention being that within this circle, we have clarity, we are grounded, we are connected. So we have the best messages possible for our best and highest good. All right. So I'm going to start at the north, which is right here. So, calling in the elementals of the north and the direction of the north to help us to cast our circle today. Calling in the elementals of the east and the direction of the east to help us to cast our circle today. Let new beginnings enter our lives. Calling in the direction of the south and the elementals of the south to help us to cast our circle today and help us through our times of rebirth, transformation, and growth. Calling in the elementals of the west and the direction of the west to help us find maturity within our downloads and our visions. All right, our circle is cast. Let our work begin. And so it is. All right. Okay. Um, Susie said, and Heather too. Yes, of course. Hey, no worries, Susie. Yes, Heather is a very dear friend. So, and if you guys are wondering where Heather is, she is taking some time off from social media. She is reconnecting to the self. She's got some spiritual work to do, going back into nature, refinding her truest form of herself. And what I think is amazing is there are a lot of people that are going through shifts and changes, taking time off here or there. And actually, there are people that are taking a leap of faith. A lot of people are leaving the 3D matrix jobs, and some people are really, it's a scary thing because the ego doesn't know. The ego doesn't know what's going to happen next. What's the next thing? Are we going to be taken care of? But the higher self knows, and a lot of people are trusting more in that higher self, regardless of what the ego is saying. The ego's like, oh, stop, no, this is crazy. And there are a lot of people that are ignoring that. And I'm just noticing more people making that shift and that change. And I couldn't be more proud of them because that's what I've wanted to do, with this channel, along with a lot of other people with, spiritual channels, is to help people to find their true power, which lies in the higher self. The higher self is you. It's not some thing that's outside of you. You are actually inside of the higher self. You're this human inside of it, and oftentimes we think it's this thing, that's in us. And James and I were just talking about that the other day. And so I think a lot of people are being reminded of that. They're remembering that hey, you know what? We're a multi-dimensional being. We have infinite amount of energy and power, and we can see so much when we tap into that higher self. Why on earth would we believe that this is the reality, the main reality? And so I congratulate all those people going through those shifts and changes, albeit difficult. Let's see. Let's go back here. Ishani said, understandable. It was such an interesting chat with so much information you guys shared. I'm glad you dug it. Night Daughter got the first card from her mystical journey oracle, and that is shadow work. Wow. Susie said, love to hear this. All right. So what I wanted to dig into today, starting actually with our herb. As you guys know, I like to do my herby stuff. And here we have whole clove. You guys may find this in the grocery store. Sometimes it's in a ground form. Oh, hey, ginormous raven. What is up? The raven's been, well, actually, all the birds have been hanging out here a lot lately. But these are whole cloves. And magically speaking, clove is really good for bringing in abundance. It's good for clarity. It's good for purifying. It's good for healing spells. If you want to do that, it's good for. Sometimes people like to take the clove pieces. Let me just show you so you can see how pointy they are. Sometimes people like to take clove and they'll press them into an orange for like some abundance and prosperity spells, good luck spells, things of that nature. But also on the medicinal side, if we want to talk about just our our human body and how that relates, clove is really good for antibacterial. It's also a numbing agent. So if you've suffered from teeth issues, the use of clove dates way back from ancient Egypt to before then, where they would make a paste of clove and kind of rub it on the infected tooth to not only alleviate the pain but to help to take away anti or microbials and bacterials and things like that to help the healing process, speeding the healing process of a tooth, which makes sense why you would use it in healing spells because it's used in that fashion. And so actually, since James and I have been both having some teeth issues, as you guys know, I had an extraction last week. I got my very back tooth taken out, my molar, because I don't have my wisdom teeth anymore. Um, I just wanted, I made a little tea, and the tea was made with clove being the main ingredient, turmeric, since that's also a really good healing agent, and I put in calendula, which is also really good for teeth and helping to alleviate pain, thyme, and there was one more thing I put in there, rosemary. And so it actually made a really good drink. And so we've been having that a couple of times a day, as well as doing a little mouthwash rinse of hydrogen peroxide and water, a 1-to-1 ratio, just to help eliminate any sort of bacteria or anything that could be causing like a infection or anything. So we want to make sure that gets taken out. So yes, little me just practicing nature dentistry over here. But yeah, I highly recommend some cloves if you want to use it for magical work. And if you've got a little bit of a mouth or teeth issue, I would say make yourself a little clove tea or a little clove paste. So there you go. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying here. This is like clove. Night daughter said 12:12. Hey, hey. This is right when you said you saw the raven. All right, raven at 12:12 coming in with messages. Dana, what's up, girl? Maria said makes red cabbage cooked taste better. I use it as powder so don't have to fish them out again. Yeah, usually if I'm doing it for cooking, I'll usually do the powdered form. Otherwise, it's like clove. Um, Susie's asking how the tooth is, well, or the lack of tooth. So, the I had the extraction and I had a bone graft done, which is where they kind of pack it with a material to help promote bone growth in the area so that you don't have bone loss in part of your jaw there. Except for on Friday, that graft popped out. And so I just have like a gaping hole back there. But I'm gonna call the dentist tomorrow and see if, you know, I have to go back in and have the grafting material put back in. But it seems like my body is really happy not having anything in there right now because like the swelling went down, it's not red anymore. I feel fine again, and today was the first day I woke up without any teeth pain. Like the rest of my teeth aren't in pain. Of course, you know, we've been taking my little tonics and stuff like that to help my teeth. So it could be a mixture of my body's like, hey, maybe you don't need that stuff in there, to also maybe I'm just like a really good witch. So maybe it's a mix of the two. Let's see. Susie said, love turmeric, a very good detox. Yes. Caitlin says, I love your necklace. Reminds me of my conscious items crystal tree. You know what? I got this actually, the pendant itself, the little crystal I got in San Diego in one of our gem shows that we would have out there. And then I just kind of, you know, turned it into a short necklace. But yeah, when I saw it, I was like, I dig this. Susie says, you look fabulous. Thank you. And Maria said, have you considered making an herbal witchy cookbook from for food to medicine? You know what? I have not, but that's actually a good idea. And you know what, actually, Maria, I have there's a like a leather bound journal that James's parents had given me, and I was thinking about like what do I do with this, because actually the pages are really rough because they're like hand done pages of paper. So, um, James and I decided to maybe use it as a plant grimoire, but use it for the local plants around here. So, my very first entry, of course, was chinchweed because that's what I've gotten to know the most. But I won't see chinchweed here till maybe June, July ish. So I won't see those beautiful lemony flowers until then. But we have been seeing a lot of our plants coming back to life. Grass is starting to come back, I see. And it's so interesting when you think something is so dead and barren, and then to have what seems out of nowhere, animals coming out, plants coming back, you know, butterflies, lizards. Our friend Fredo, who actually lives on the makeshift steps that we've made for the cabin, he was a little lizard that made a family of, I don't know, like 50 children last year. And for the winter, he disappeared. And we were like, oh, well, maybe Fredo went south for the winter. Maybe he went to Mexico. But now the Fredo's back, and Fredo's like this big. His coloring's all different. So we're like, Fredo came back all buff and big, full of tattoos. We're like, you know, Fredo must have had fun in Mexico. So it's like so cool to see, you know, everything coming back. But I definitely think it's cool with, you know, creating this plant grimoire because I'm leaving extra like pages so I can add more about the plant. Like the more I meditate with it, all the different types of ways I'm using it for medicine, using it for cooking, using it for magical workings, really, really getting to know them. And so I want to do that with each and every plant that's around here so that I build that connection and I'm not just taking, you know, I'm not just like, I'm going to use all these juniper berries, but I have no relationship with the plant. And I think that it's important to build a relationship with the herbs that you use because I think that they would have an even greater benefit because you have that connection, you have that communication with that plant instead of just like, oh, hey, I'm taking you and you're going to make me feel better. You know, because I certainly would appreciate that if somebody just grabbed me and said, hey, Tara, I need you to make me feel better. I'm like, do I even know you, bro? So, yeah, definitely build those relationships, I say. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Susie sending hugs. Lady Knight said the ABCs of Tara's Witchy Kitchen. Hey, I like the sound of that. Dana says, I have to say, if anyone is thinking of doing a Mayan reading with Tara, do one ASAP if you feel the call. It was such an incredible experience. I'm so glad you dug it. Yeah, I've been doing a few Mayan readings lately, and they are obviously a lot different than just doing a tarot reading because I have to kind of create the chart, which, using a Mayan calendar takes a little bit of time. And then I take people through a walkthrough of it because if I just hand somebody a chart, they're going to not know what the heck they're looking at. So it's like a 40-minute kind of plus video that I do, just kind of walking people through as best I can with some of the major points of information I think would be helpful in people's lives, including a little bit of divination because the Tolkien calendar does include divination. It is a spiritual calendar. Um, as well as telling people about their flight of the feathered serpent, which is kind of like your roving birthday each year, where it's not a birthday, it's more like a birth month because it's celebrating your entire calendar. And that's actually one of my favorite things to do. So that's why I kind of make that a point in people's readings, walkthroughs of their calendar. I'm like, hey, you know what? Your celebration of self is coming up, boom, on this date. But it changes every year because it's a 260-day calendar. But yeah, thank you, Dana, for putting that out there. And I'm so glad you dug it. Let's see. Ashani said, I use clove oil for all kinds of teeth related issues. Oh, yeah, clove oil. It has helped me a lot during the phase when my wisdom tooth was peeping out. I hope it helps you in reducing pain and swelling. Oh, it definitely helped for sure. Caitlin said, card from Oracle of the Fairies, precious time. The fairy of time wants you to experience every moment fully and to make the most of your gracious or your precious time. Be mindful not to waste others' time either. That is a wonderful, wonderful message. Maria said, I would get your book. I have all the info combined. I'm bad at taking notes and remembering things. Susie says she would get it for sure. Yes, Buff Fredo. Dana too. Hey. Caitlin said the story behind the mystical journey is hilarious. I ordered off Amazon in addition to Water Temple, but instead of Water Temple, I ended up with the Starman Tarot. Interesting. Interesting. Dana said it was powerful. I still refer back to it for integration. Thank you. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're really liking it. I wasn't sure at first because not everybody's familiar with Mayan astrology, but I love it so much. I was like, you know what? When I was first thinking about making it a listing, and I was like, I'm just gonna put it out there. Maybe there's gonna be some curious folks that want to learn about it because obviously there's all these different types of astrologies out there, and why not share the one that I know? And as I talk to you guys, in the tree there we have there's something called the juniper titmouse. And so the juniper titmouse is a little gray bird that's got a mohawk. And they're about this big, and there's about 5 or 6 of them jumping around the juniper tree. And sometimes when I think I hear a woodpecker, it's actually them because they're trying to knock off the berries. They eat the seeds. They also kind of get into the bark a little bit. And they're known for hanging upside down like a bat and doing what they need to do. Actually, do you guys hear that sound? That's the juniper titmouse. So actually, you know what? Let's dive in and let's see what message they have for us. So, as we get into our messages right now, let's do it. They didn't show up for no reason. All right, let's take a little bit of water and see what our little juniper friends, the juniper birds, have to say. Okay, the little juniper titmouses were saying that just like with teeth, since we're talking about teeth and health, there's always so much more going on below the surface. Yes, I know that's cliche. I know we we know this that there's always more to it. But this time that we're in, not just this week, but this time that we're in is really going deep. So beyond the 3D pain or ailment that you have, going into what might have been causing it at an energetic or spiritual level, and then going even deeper with that. The juniper birds were saying we have to go really deep. You have to go into asking the higher self, and then the higher self showing you, could this also be coming from past life experience and future life experience as well. This is a integration process at this time, and all of these things that are coming up are asking us to kind of be in that place that we don't like to be in when we're in pain or when we don't know why we're sick and things like that. There's this unknown area. And the ego, us as humans, we don't like to be in that unknown area. It's like I want to know what's wrong so that I can treat it. But this time is about being in that unknown area and understanding that you're going to be okay, that if you truly, truly believe that you will continue to get sick and it's just going to get worse, then know that you have the power to make it worse. But if you believe that this is a temporary vessel and there is a powerful infinite being that is attached to this temporary vessel, then of course that powerful infinite being has precedence over that vessel. It presides over that vessel and it can heal that vessel. But the only way we can get to that space is being in a place of a lack of control. It is time to let go. And with that, they disappeared. All the little juniper birds are gone. And now we just have flies. All right. Well, thank you, little junipers. All right, here. Let's see. Let's go back here. Um, so this is, I think, the Maya escaped the Matrix. Many cultures, I believe, did that. I believe that some of the cultures that resided around here, they ascended, I do believe. Caitlin says the creator of the water temple is Susie Cherub. Oh, okay. Excellent. Susie says empowerment is the word I hear today. Exactly. And Caitlin said card from Wisdom of the Oracle, chop wood. All right. Susie said cool action. And Dana said, wow, wow, love that. And so Susie said, yes, thank you. So, yeah, thank you, little juniper birds, our little titmouses. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to bust out Wally's World here. I want to take a look at this week. I think I'll just pull a card. That's usually all I need from Wally's World is one card, and it's got so much information. It just works very well with my intuition. Okay. Ooh, ooh. Okay, I think we have our card. Let's see, another message for this week that maybe we can take along with our little juniper bird messages. That's the back of my cards, and there we go. This is called Tiger Hill, and it was a place that I went to when I was in China, and I believe this was in Hangzhou. Yeah. But it was said that a Buddhist monk was looking for a place to build their temple, and the monk had seen a white tiger on the hill, and that was a sign that that's where the temple should be. That's where a lot of spiritual work would be done. And so, hence, this temple was made where the monk believes it saw that white tiger. Okay, so let's tap into this one. Oh, and if you're wondering where Wally is, he's hiding right there. Dana said so much power felt in that card. Dude. I got to kind of look in this temple. It's no longer in use, but people can definitely still visit it and take pictures. And it was such an interesting energy there. Like you could feel like the people that once prayed there and went about their lives there were still there. In essence, since there is no time, their energy is still there. But it was just so visceral. Like I could feel them walking through me. It was amazing. Okay, so let's dive into this card. I know some of you who are pulling cards were talking about action, and I do believe this is a week of action. Sometimes the action is the plan, enacting a plan. Sometimes it is the execution of a plan. And that's what I believe many of us are going to be tapping into this week. Just as the monk in the story here saw the white tiger in his vision, he trusted his intuition, he trusted his higher self. And I do believe that the white tiger was actually in an embodiment of his own higher self, showing him this is where you could come and practice your spirituality, if that person needed a permission slip to do so. And so that's what they did. They built this big, beautiful structure, trusting solely 100% on their intuition. And that's what I feel like more of us are going to be doing with that action phase this week, is enacting a plan based solely on our intuition. And I know that we live in a world that would have us base everything solely on our ego, since the ego was created for this world. It's a program meant to help us just be here. But we know that we're not just here. We're multidimensional, meaning we're more than beyond this dimension. And so this is time to really get into the higher self, since that is our truest form. That's the form that lives on beyond our time here. And so as we enact our plans, we enact it with the highest self, the highest versions of ourself, our soul, if you will. And the execution of those plans is also done with that highest version of ourselves. So if you find yourself nervous or scared or not sure if you should begin this project or even think about this plan or even go through with this plan, then you have to ask yourself where those fears are actually coming from. Would the higher self base itself in that fear? Where is it actually coming from? And you may find that the higher self, or the ego, is wanting to protect you in some form. But remember, the ego doesn't have an intuition. It can't see beyond the 2 feet in front of your face, but your higher self can. So wouldn't you trust the light, the most powerful infinite form of you that knows what's best for you? And so this is time to kind of think about that, have a sit with that, and look into how you make your decisions this week. What kind of plans are you making? Where are they coming from? Where are they stemming from? As you're executing the plans, who's in charge of the execution of that plan? Is it the higher self or is it the ego? As we learn to kind of break away from it, we're not essentially not destroying it, but we're giving the ego less power. We're taking it out of the driver's seat, so to speak. All right. I can dig that. Thank you, Wally. All right. Let's see here. Caitlin said, card from Wild Muse flew out, the decluttering card. And Susie said, love, love, love. Caitlin said, and Tara, you missed when I said to Susie, David Bowie. David Bowie is Brian's mentor. Brian, who's the singer of the band I'm seeing. Also, the first time I used Mystical Journey, the card meaning talked about the placebo effect. Placebo is Brian's band. Interesting. So many synchronicities. All right. Okay. Let's see. Let's get in here to, special question. Now, this was interesting because I put some interesting questions for you guys to vote on. Okay, so for everybody in here, I have a public poll that I usually post on Thursdays, and the public poll has 4 questions for you to vote on, and that is the winning question is the question that I pull cards for here in the live chat. But I also post those same 4 questions to my YouTube members and also to my Patreon homies. So depending on how they vote, sometimes will sway the vote of the public vote because they have technically 2 or 3 more votes than the average person. So it was very close, but the winning vote ended up being a message from our teeth. So, what message do the teeth have? Just because it seems like so many people have had teeth stuff come up. I know that other ailments and things have come up as well for people, but it seems like why all the teeth? Even talking to the dentist who was, working on my mouth, he was like, "Yeah, so many people coming in with failed crowns." And I was talking to my little brother actually the other night, and I was telling him that I had my tooth taken out because I said, "Oh yeah, I just got my stitches out." And he says, "You got stitches? Like what happened?" And I said, "Oh, I said I had a tooth taken out." He says, "Oh, I took out a tooth too." And I said, "Oh, you went to the dentist?" He went, "Heck no." He was like, "I don't go to dentists." He says, "I took a pair of pliers and I took it out myself." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well," I was like, "Well, if I was gonna do it myself, I'd probably just like wrap it around a little string and tie it to a door and slam the door." And he says, "Well, I was thinking about doing that, but I didn't want people to think I was angry in the house." I was like, "Okay, bro." So yeah, and, yeah, but he said it was the same side, just like me. So we ended up actually I mean, he took it out himself, but I went to the dentist to get mine taken out. But I'm like, "That's interesting." And then my best friend that lives in Belgium, she has something called neuralgia, and it's like a nerve disorder along the jawline, so it makes her teeth hurt a lot. And so she goes to see like her um, like medicine person. It's kind of like an apothecary, I guess. She gets certain medicine, a lot of with clove, to help her with dulling that pain. Because although it's not her teeth necessarily, it's the nerve, and it was on her left side. And I was like, whoa! And we're like cosmic sisters. So, but that seems to be with a lot of people. So let's go ahead and pull a card for that. And I want to use my new deck because I don't know. I'm really, really digging this one. And I think you guys will like the art if you haven't seen it already. But here are the backs. You can see it's got a nice shiny pentacle back there. And let's see what you guys are saying here. Caitlin says the story goes David Bowie was touring with Morrissey as his opening act. Morrissey bailed, and since David and Placebo had the same agent, David and David asked Placebo to open for him. That's how David discovered him. Wow, interesting. Since they were all great questions, and Dana said, "Yes, my teeth, all 3." Dude, was it all 3 crowns? Oh my goodness. Yeah, for a lot of people, it's been crowns. James's mom's crown fell off too. Caitlin says they even did a duet together, "Without You, I'm Nothing," and Brian wrote a song on this latest album honoring Bowie's death. Happy birthday in the sky. Very cool. Data said the teeth thing has been so wild. Yeah, especially because not everybody's going to the same dentist, not everybody's of the same age bracket. It's all over. It's crazy. Um, and then Caitlin said, "Lucy's one of my favorite." Cool. Nana said, "When I had the 3 crowns changed on my left side, the energy feels so different. It was like I had stagnant energy sitting in my teeth." Oh yeah. Oh, so it was all 3 crowns came out. Dude, well, let's see what the teeth gotta say, man. I'm interested too. Inquiring minds want to know. Um, Dana said, and it was on my left side too, which is crazy. Yeah, Susie said, "Sending hugs to all. This is my 2020 issue, but done now. Um, Too long of a story regarding teeth." And Ishani said, "Teeth has been weird. Since last week, I've started putting night guard on my teeth to prevent bruxism, which ends up causing pain in my head, neck, jawline, and ear. It's bad." Sending love to you too, girl. Wow. I have a retainer that I wear at night, but It's not just to keep my teeth straight from my orthodontia, but it's made in such a way so I don't clench my teeth in my sleep because I have a tendency to grind and clench my teeth, which means I usually wake up with like a sore jaw or a headache or neck pain. Yeah, so I have to keep my teeth mouth open just partially, I guess. Okay, let's see. All right, dientes, teethies. What do you have to say? What do you have to say? Message from the teeth. Message from the teeth. Okay, looks like we have our card. That breeze feels really good. Ooh, we have the gathering. P.S. Look at that art. Um, Caitlin says, I asked Mystical Journey, what was the situation with the left side of the teeth? And I got self care. Dana said, I was thinking since the teeth is connected to organs, maybe the energy I was storing in those parts were coming up and the teeth were telling me to release it. Yeah, Susie said, Lisa for later and Heather for later. Love that card. All right. So let me dive into this one. And how nice that she's got a little birdie on her shoulder. Hmm. Hmm. And herbs in her pocket. Who do I know like that? Okay. Okay. It feels like there's a lot of messages that deal with the teeth, but for time's sake, they're going to focus on just one aspect. And teeth are saying, think about our society, the society we live in, that there's such a focus on the outward appearance. We all want to label who we are on the outside. I'm this or I'm that, or I'm, from this culture, this ethnicity. Not that all those things aren't beautiful, but there's a hyper focus on it. And when we hyper focus on what is on the outside, the appearance, we forget about what's on the inside. Or, as I was saying earlier, we forget what is our actual outside, which is our higher self. And so, as the teeth issues come up, oftentimes, let's say if there's a loss of a tooth, it feels like a loss of our appearance somehow. We want to have this well maintained appearance, that everything should be perfect from our skin to our teeth, our smiles, the way we do our hair, our clothing. But if you take one of those things away, it sends the ego into a tailspin, saying, oh, no, no, now it's not perfect. I need to fit in. I need to look a certain way for society. And when our teeth causes pain, or we have a tooth removed, or a tooth falls out, or a crown falls out, or whatever is happening, it's to trigger the ego. We need the ego to come up. It's almost as if you're summoning a genie by pulling that tooth out. The genie that is the ego comes out. What are you doing? What's happening? We have to quickly cover that up so that people don't see that we may have a flaw. But it's not a flaw, it's a vessel. That's all it is, and it's temporary. And this is coming to us now to show us that it is just a temporary vessel. Hair falls out, teeth fall out, is what happens. It's not meant to be in pristine condition. We're not meant to look like mannequins by the time we go to the grave. This is so that we transition out of what's going on the outside and transition into that higher self. Because when you are in pain and there's no reason, 3D reason for it, there's no 3D medicine for it, that's when people have to stop and start seeking source, God, heaven, Allah, higher self, soul, whatever you want to call it. That's what gets us into the spiritual state. When we start letting go of this vessel, not saying you have to die, just saying letting go of the control that this vessel has over us. This is all about releasing. And what does that look like in a 3D sense? It looks like pain. It looks like things coming out, falling away. Because when we look in the mirror, that's not us in our entirety. When someone takes our picture, that's not us in our entirety. Our vessels isn't as temporary as that photograph. All right. Like I said, I feel like there was a lot more messages that wanted to come through, but that'd be like an hour or two of messages coming through. But I think that was kind of the main one that they wanted us to hear at this time. So I really appreciate that. So thank you, teeth. Something to think about, definitely. All right. Let's go back to some of the messages you guys got. Let me scoot up here so I can see you guys more easily. Woo. Susan said, love that card. Caitlin says, I'm trying to straighten up in my chair, but I'm feeling a force pushing me down. I think it's a message for someone. Interesting. So Susie's sending protection to Caitlin. Dana said, wow, this message. Caitlin was asking if this is for Dana then. And Susie said, very Virgo rising. Yes, calling me out too. And Susie said, I worry how I look all the time. Past life issues, insecurities. It is what is inside that counts. Love that. And Caitlin said, Brian is practicing Buddhist, and there's a saying in Buddhism that says, the beauty is in the imperfection. Says, thank you. Plus, that force is gone. It went away as soon as I typed the message. Interesting. Said, thank you. Very welcome. Dana said, oh, Tara, powerful, incredible message. Yes, thank you to the teeth. So thank you so much. That resonates. Caitlin said, Virgo rising. Brian is a Virgo rising. Interesting. Okay. All right. So for our viewers poll, wow, what a message. It was like, I'm still kind of feeling that. For our viewers poll, I wanted to leave the 2 questions up to you guys, the 2 questions that we would vote on, since I do like when you guys come up with questions too. So, whoops, sitting on my knife, excuse me. Okay, so if you guys have a question, let's put that up and we'll vote on them. So just 2 questions. So anybody, if you think that there is a question that we could all benefit from the answer, go ahead and put that up there. Yeah, Caitlin said, don't cut yourself. Oh, don't worry, it's got a sheath on it. I've gotten very good with it, actually. I'll show you guys my karambits. So it's actually from Indonesia, but it's used in Filipino martial arts. So just kind of, it's small enough to kind of keep in my pocket, but yep. just in case, protection, or need to cut a little herbs, something could be used as a bowling. Okay. Susan said, please smash that like button too. Oh, thank you. Dana said, oh, any messages about the eclipse coming up? That's a good question. Let me write that down. Okay, so Any any messages about the hybrid eclipse? Because not only is it a total solar eclipse, but it's also acting like an annual eclipse. And I believe it can only be viewed in like in its total form. Western Australia, I believe it was, Indonesia, and I believe some other place. But you know what? We'll take a look out here on that date anyway. So it's like 19th, 20th, kind of depending on your time zone. So 420. Okay, so other questions. That one's a good question. I like that one. Um, Susie is question seconds it. Yes. And then Susie said 29 Aries. Find it in your chart. All right. Okay, so we'll call that question A. Do we have a question B? That'll be for our red heart, by the way. And then we have our question B. Okay, so first one, any messages about the hybrid eclipse coming up? Some people are already feeling that stuff since we are going to be in total alignment. So Earth, Moon, and Sun, creating that total solar eclipse. And I believe they said we had it back in, was it 2013 or something like that? I do remember the total solar eclipse because I was watching it on my computer while I was teaching. I was actually in the classroom and I wanted my students to be able to see it. So I actually brought all of my students outside, and my ex at the time had a certain film, like window film, that you could put up where you could stare directly into the sun. It wouldn't hurt your eyes during a solar eclipse. So actually I had all the students like put this like tint over their eyes, and we were all like staring up there, and it just looked kind of like an orangey ball. And then all of a sudden we saw slowly like the moon kind of going in front of it, and we took all kinds of pictures. The kids took all these cell phone pictures, and then the other teachers got these ideas too, so they brought their students out, and so basically we had almost the whole student body out watching the solar eclipse. It was pretty cool. um, let's see. Caitlin said I asked a question. Yes, I agree with Susie. Please retype it because I don't see it either. Okay, Caitlin says, how can we best protect the LGBTQ plus community? Okay, let's go ahead and well, let's put it down and we will vote on it. How can we best protect the LGBTQ plus community? Best protect the LGBTQ plus community. Okay. All right, so we have our two questions. Thank you for you guys submitting your questions, and we'll go into our voting, and we'll play our little Jeopardy music. Susie said, great question for number 2, Caitlin. And then Caitlin said, these drag show bands are ludicrous. Okay, so as I put my my little fighting weapon off to the side. Okie dokie. So for a red heart emoji, or if you don't have access to your emojis, just type the words red heart. We have the first question. Any messages about the hybrid eclipse? So if you like that question, go ahead and vote with that red heart emoji or typing the words red heart. Okay. Question number 2. For a green heart emoji, how can we best protect the LGBTQ plus community? You can vote with the green heart or type the words green heart if you don't have access to the emojis. Okay, so just again, red heart, any messages about the hybrid eclipse? Green heart, how can we best protect the LGBTQ plus community? All right, here we go. Cast your votes. Do 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 do. All right, let's see. What deck do I want to use with this one? Let's go with, ooh, Oracle of the Witch. Heck yeah. All right. So let's let's go ahead and count up those hearts. All right. So Susie's going with the red heart because she loves astrology. So red heart from Susie, red heart from Dana, red heart from Ishani. Yes, Susie's saying both are great questions. Okay, and then Kayla throwing in the third loop with the purple heart. And then there's the third question. All right, and then we count up the green hearts. We have Caitlin, and then we have Kayla with our green hearts. All right, so 3-2 again. So that would be red hearts for the win. Again, both thank you so much for submitting your questions. So that first question was any messages about the hybrid eclipse that's coming up. So any messages that we could get about that hybrid eclipse. All right, Oracle of the Witch, let's do it. It was very close to a tie, by the way. Excellent, excellent. Okay, and here are the back of these cards. I love that they have that kind of shiny red edging. It's pretty cool. Alrighty. Any messages about the hybrid eclipse? Any messages about the hybrid eclipse? Messages about the hybrid eclipse. Messages about the hybrid eclipse. All right. Looks like we got our card. So much stuff going on in the sky. You guys are going to like this. Moon magic is the card. As we're talking about a solar eclipse when the moon is literally going to be blocking the sun as it comes between us and our soul. Soul, S-O-L. And it says phases. And we have the triple moon right there in the middle. All right. And Susie's saying thank you to all. Okay, let's tap into this one. The message is about the hybrid eclipse. Okay, one of the big messages, and saying almost literal. Think about what happens during that total solar eclipse. You have three things in alignment. Also, thinking of the number three. Just like in the card, you can think of the triple goddess, maiden, mother, crone. So, different phases in our life. You can also think of in Mayan numerology, the number three being a time of difficulty, but also representing the three hearthstones which helped create this world, created the earth. And in order to create something or go into something new, we have to be met with a stress in some manner and adversity in some way, because that challenges us to get creative. And so this eclipse is helping us to be challenged in a way in which we can exercise our strengths, our talents. It also helps us to see our weaknesses and how we can transmute them so that we don't hide from them. And also to look at the eclipse and seeing ourselves as the earth and seeing our, let's say the earth is our ego and the sun is our higher self. What is it that's coming between the two? Just like the moon is. And remember, the moon oftentimes represents mystery, the unknown, dabbling in your intuition, tapping into it. And so, if this darkness or the shadow is coming between you and your higher self, what is it? This is a time for us to dive into what is that so that we can unblock it, so that we can have a greater connection to our higher self. And so, some wonderful things to work on during this hybrid eclipse. What's blocking us from really having a deep connection with our higher self? And also looking at the stressors, the difficulties, the blocks that are coming up for us, and how can we get creative? How can we utilize our talents, the things that we've learned? We go through all these trials and tribulations, but that's because we learn so many lessons and we gain so many tools. We learn so much about ourselves along the way. How can we utilize those things finally now that we've come across a roadblock? All right. Well, thank you, hybrid eclipse. Okay, so some good stuff coming up for us then. So, all those trials, tribulations, difficulties that may arise, it's just so that we can start utilizing all the things that we've learned, all the things that we've come so that we can actually see our growth. Well, that's cool. And also seeing maybe what's coming in between us and our higher selves. So, all right, very good. Thank you to the people who submitted the questions. Thank you so much. And to everybody who voted, thank you, thank you. And thank you, Moon, thank you, Sun, thank you, Earth, for the message. All right, let's see. Let's go back here. Caitlin said, card from Oracle of the Fairies, life energy. The happy fairy of sunshine brings lots of life energy. She reminds you to shine your light and to reveal anything in the shadows that need to be healed. Oh, life giving energy, she said. Excellent. And said, sun and moon, it's about balance. Thank you. Dana said, wow, thank you. That was incredible. It resonates so much. Yeah, stuff is coming up. And a lot of it is that's coming up is hard for us to see, like why certain people are getting sick or why people feel the way they do sometimes, like why, and it's really hard to pinpoint it in 3D. So this is definitely like, what is that block? What is that that's in our way? So we could start to see more clearly. Because obviously, if we were, totally just our higher self, just 100%, that murkiness or cloudiness wouldn't be there. Dana said, when huge cosmic energies like this happen, it's great to have insight like this. Susie said 100. All right. All right. Excellent. Okay. You know what? I decided to do something a little different. If people wanted to do super chats or super stickers today, I actually have my bag of bones. That's right, people. I am the bone witch. I have my bag of animal bones, actually, all different animals in here. And I wanted to kind of either pull a bone for a message, if anybody just, had a question, or if you wanted to do super chat and super sticker, if you wanted me to pull a bone to see kind of what um, animal medicine you can embody during this time. So either getting the message from the animal as it pertains to your question, or we could just look into the animal medicine that you can dive into at this time. So, yeah, so instead of using my cards, let's use our bones. And I'll just kind of get some water and things like that. Caitlin said, cards from the Wild Muse, Jar of Dreams. And Dana said, oh, yes. So, actually, while people just kind of decide what they want to do, I have different bones in here. I have little badger bones, I have bones from bear, all these different bones here. Some are from lynx, some are from coyote. I have kind of distinguished the difference. We have red fox here. So lots of good stuff. We even have an alligator scoot that's in here, part of their exoskeleton. I have deer energy is in here. All kinds of stuff. Ooh, rat energy from one of our rats on the property. Um, James actually found a jaw. We found a rat jaw. So yeah, lots of little bones you finding around. I would have a horse bone in here, but it's kind of big. So okay, let's see. All right, Dana, thank you, thank you. Dana's a general message from the bones, please. You got it. And Susie, thank you so much. Okay. All right, animal medicine for Dana. Message coming through. Let's see. Oh, all right. We got bare knuckle. How about that? Okay, so let's tap into what bear energy wants for us. And Dana, you know what? Straight away, I was thinking, well, Dana's a mama and she's a mama bear. Okay, but let's see, because this is the knuckle. This is the part that's holding us up. Well, at least for the bear, it's what allows it to have movement within its fingers, within its paws, so that it can nourish itself, feed itself, or protect itself. It's not the claws, but it's the mobility. So let's see what bear has to say. Actually, it was the thing that was coming through. So it is about flexibility and knowing when to, let's say in bear terms, throw your weight around. When we look at bear has the ability to make us smile, make us laugh. Sometimes they do really funny things, and a bear does know how to play, which is actually a sign of intelligence when animals know how to play, and it's not just survival. And they know how to take care of themselves, but they also know when to be ferocious, when they are protecting their cubs, they're protecting themselves, they feel threatened, but they don't need to do that all the time. Could a bear rip our faces off at any moment's notice? Of course it could, but it doesn't do that. So just because you have claws, just because you have the ability to roar and things like that and scare others or intimidate, doesn't mean we have to. And that's not how we show our true power. Bear doesn't have to do that all the time for us to have a respect for a bear. It's just the energy that it embodies. You may say, well, it might be the size of it. Well, there are other animals that we think of that are large in size, but we don't fear them. A sheep is a big animal, but I don't fear a sheep. Or I don't I'm afraid it's gonna like rip my face off or anything like that. But I have a respect for a sheep because it's in its own power. I have respect for a bear because it's in its own power. So you don't need to bare your claws. These giant animals don't need to bare their claws to show that they have respect for themselves. They have balance within themselves, that they are powerful because they have that power within. So, bear is coming in for you to be reminded that you have all of this power within you, all of this strength within you, and you don't need to prove it to other people. You don't need to prove to other people that you're strong and that you're powerful. It's already there within you. And with this being a knuckle, it being within flexibility, learning to be flexible with your strength and your power, where can we put a little bit of strength in here? We don't need to put pedal to the metal all the time. When do I need just a little bit here or a little less here? So it's learning to kind of have that ebb and flow, that balance at this time. And also, just one more thing, because Bear keeps showing me them rubbing their backs up against the tree because they want to scratch their back. But they said sometimes they do it because it's silly, because sometimes it's just for fun. So yeah, sometimes they really do have to scratch their back, but they want to have fun. So part of being a strong energy is also knowing that you deserve to have fun. Strong doesn't always mean serious all the time. All right, thank you, Bear. All right. um, let's see. Let's go back here. What you guys said. Um, do do do. Um, let's see. Caitlin said Brian is a rat in Chinese zodiac. Susie says I'm a rat too. And oh yes. So Susie says, is it time to go back to my to YouTube? My question. Yes, your question definitely. And Dana said, my son's last name means bear of arms. Hey. And Caitlin said, Susie, I was born in the year of the dog, but Chinese New Year hadn't started yet, so I am a rooster. Dana said, always spot on. Well, thank you, Bear. And Caitlin said, where is Liesel? Haven't seen her at all. And Susie said, usually she is here. I think she must be busy today. Yep. And she's in the UK, so definitely a different time zone. Susie says she'll reach out to her. I need to check in anyway later today. Oh, well, speaking of Liesel, hello, Liesel. Hello, hello. Susie's like, oh my goodness, wow, I know. Like, what are the synchronicities, right? Psychic sister for sure, Susie. Caitlin said, I was just asking about you, Liesel. Dana said, wow, this message makes so much sense. I always felt so connected with bears. I've been more on guard because of the big changes I've made. I know I need to loosen up. And Dana says, I'm also a rat, Susie. Okay, Susie's question. Um, okay. So that is your question. Is it time to go back to YouTube? Okay. All right. Let's dive in. Is it time to go back to YouTube? Haha, we have the alligator scoot. This is kind of that armor that you see on the back of alligators, protecting them. As we know that they are most vulnerable on the bottom, which is why they float with their backs on the top here. But let's see what alligator medicine has for you. Is it time for Susie to go back to YouTube? Okay. Alligator is saying, I don't need to constantly be below the surface, below the water surface, in order to protect myself. You have all the knowledge of protecting your energy, just like alligator physically in the physical has these little scoots to help to protect it from, birds that land on it, want to peck away at it, or other animals that would wish to harm it. It says, but we have these large eyes. We have these eyes that look just above the surface. So we can see what's going on, but also we already have our protection in place. So we have nothing to fear. And so, Susie, as you, let's say, decide to go back to YouTube, as I feel that your knowledge has shifted and changed, the way you protect yourself has shifted and changed. Continue looking through your intuition, just like the eyes of an alligator, kind of scanning the surface, where to go next, where to nourish itself, where it can hang out with its friends. And instead of giving yourself a time and say, oh, I'm going to go to do this thing 100% now, instead now rely on your intuition. If you feel like it as you scan with your psychic sense, your third eye, your higher self, I feel like sharing my messages today, then go ahead and do so. Again, check your shields, check your protection. You know how to do it. That has shifted and changed to your benefit. If you don't feel like doing something that day, then you don't have to. Alligator saying this is about moving more in flow instead of the ego's form of commitment, where the ego will say, I need to do X, Y, and Z for a certain amount of time. I need to do this every single day or every single week or whatever it may be. And when I don't do what I feel is on my to do list, I'll feel bad about myself. An alligator saying, that's not what it is. I don't show up in the same place because I feel I have an obligation to. I go there because I feel like it. Some days I feel like coming to the surface. Some days I feel like being out of water. Some days I don't. And it just depends on how I feel. And I'm not afraid at any time in these things because I know I'm well protected. Well protected means I'm grounded in myself and I know who I am. And if I feel like today is just not a good day, well, back in the water I go. And so the same for you. When you truly tap into your higher self, if you're feeling like today I want to share a message, again, just make sure your shields are up, you're grounded, share your message. If you feel like, nope, today I'm back in the water, then today go back in the water. Living more in flow. Thank you, alligator. See you later, alligator. All right. I know it's kind of cheesy. I just had to throw that in. Okay, so let me scoot up so I can actually read what you guys are saying. Sometimes the sun makes it hard for me to read my phone here and the messages. Okay, Lisa said, Susie, I love you. I got a new girlfriend, but she's a bit damaged. Oh, um, Susie said, Dana, I love it. Susie saying, Lisa, I'm happy for you. Yes, very happy for you. And everybody's saying hello to Lisa. And Caitlin says, now if LHSET arrives suddenly, I'm done. Oh, long hair, skinny eye toe. um, so awesome. Caitlin is freaking out. And Susie says, you can help her, Lisa. Definitely. Lisa, you got that healing energy, girl. Um, yeah, long hair, skinny eye toe. Caitlin says, seriously, if she comes in, I'm done. This is way too scary. Well, it's not scary. It's synchronicity, man. It's all energy. Lisa said, thank you, Susie. I believe I can help her. Yes, I'm confident. Excellent. And Caitlin was saying, Lisa, I was literally asking Susie where you were, and all of a sudden you came in. Scary. I can barely type. I'm speechless. Dana, all right. Woohoo. Susie says, yes, I was feeling pressure, but I know I will go with my gut. Yes. And Lisa says, I cycled 3 miles to the graveyard today, got some graveyard dirt for something work day. Hey, there you go. Dana said, I had one more question. I'm in a big learning mode right now, but I know at some point I'm going to have to kick off my business. Is there any advice for this? Yes. All right. So let's go to the bag of bones. All right. The bones. No. Use the bones, Willow. Okay, Dana, let's see. So, kind of in your incubation learning phase, mama bear phase, but you're going to need to kick off the business. Let's see. Oh, okay. This long bone here is actually a lynx bone. Okay. So, usually when we think of lynx energy, they're known for being highly perceptive and intuitive. A lynx has kind of some tufts, kind of like a bobcat, on top of its ears. And actually, the tufts do act as an amplifier. It does help with the hearing of the animal. So it's very good at listening to its surroundings. It's not a very loud animal. In fact, you wouldn't know if there was a lynx sitting next to you right now, but it's very perceptive. It has very good vision and top notch hearing, some of the best hearing around. So let's dive into this one. Okay, so Dana Lynx is saying, just like the lynx, this isn't about a time of rushing. Obviously, you said that you're in a learning phase right now. You're in this kind of cocoon phase. You're birthing something new, getting ready for that. And Lynx says this is about patience and learning to sit with the silence sometimes. And for the business portion, Lynx is like, you'll it's less a how do I want to put this, how it's trying to say, it's showing me all this snow and everything, but it's less having a concrete plan of action, if that makes sense. Like, I'm going to do this and then this and then this and then here's my finish line. That's when opening day, my business takes off. And more listening to the higher self, because the ego's going to want a game plan at this moment, this juncture. It's going to want to know, okay, so June 15th, all right, great, June 15th, that's when I kick off, that's when I get everything done. But it's forcing something as energetic as your business into something very 3D. And although, yes, I know that you're operating in 3D, the business itself and what it can do for others is operating at a different level. So to force it into a very confined 3D structure is actually going to put limits on the business. And so Lynx is saying, as you are growing right now, the business itself in the future is already shifting and changing. If you were to stop your growth right now, then that business in the future is not going to do very well in your eyes because you have your own definition of success. In order for it to be successful in your eyes, each and every moment of the present moment that you are learning and growing and changing, that business out there, the opening day of that business is also shifting and growing. But the only way it will be successful in your eyes is for you to truly listen to the higher self. The ego is going to come in with dates, with this needs to get done, this needs to get done. The higher self is going to tell you, you're going to need to drop this, you're going to need to let this go, and then you'll know when the business will need to kick off. So the date of that business, the actual 3D date, is amorphous right now because of the phase that you're in. So Link says, if I were to give you a date right now, that would totally limit how well you'd be able to perform in that business and the people that you would be able to help with that business. So Lynx is purposely not giving you a date. Lynx is saying, just like myself, you have to listen. Continue listening to that higher self like you already are. But the more you do it and the longer you do it, the more confidence you have in it. And I'm sorry I paused because I feel a male energy standing next to me, or actually male native energy standing next to me right now. The male energy is kind of combining with Link's energy right now, and he's talking about the ears, being enamored with the ears, the earrings, wanting to do things with your ears. And he's saying he agrees with Lynx. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that there's such this, love of the ears and even it feeling good when people rub the ears? Is because clairaudience is something that's very strong within you. And although we have all of the clairs, we're all very psychic beings. This is one strength that you have that needs to get strengthened because it's not yet solidified its form in the 3D. So that's also something that needs to get strengthened before the kickoff of this business is that clairaudience coming in the form of voices, sound, music, sometimes your own voice coming from a different room. Yeah, they're both like the ears. And just a quick side note before I kind of finish up here. He was showing what looked like you, but it wasn't you. It was like a different, probably past life version of you. And he was pulling your hair back from your ears and he was actually braiding your hair in the back. So, whoever this is, he knows you. All right. Thank you, Lynx. Thank you, gentlemen who showed up. um, let's see. Let's go back here. Do do do. Missed a lot of your comments. Let me just go back here. Oh, Spirits and Tarot is here. The doctor is in. This is greeting my friends on the other side. Hello, hello. Sue's saying, Sheldon, what's up? Lisa said, Dana, go with your heart, not your head. Channeled. Excellent. And she said, night, daughter. Love you, babes. Says, Dana, you are one of the most intelligent, beautiful people I know, a high priestess. And Lisa agrees. So do I. Dana said, this is so true. My ego is like, you need to make money. um, this is Dana time it with the astrology. And Caitlin said, her mystical journey says you should taking back your power because you're on the path. Excellent. So wonderful. Dana said, wow, this makes so much sense. The doctor's asking, how's everyone doing? We're doing fabuloso. Thank you. Caitlin says, I'm better now. I'm over the shock of seeing Lisa come in seconds after I asked where she was. Dana said, I literally have goosebumps all over. 222. Hey. This is OMG. Susa said, Caitlin, Lisa is extremely psychic. Oh, yes, she is. Oh, and then Lisa doing a message for someone else. That is so kind of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you. Caitlin says, Susie, obviously, maybe she should join me, Paula, and Jackie on our lives, make it a quartet. Dana said, I can truly feel this energy deeply, what you're saying. Sherry Bug, hey, how are you? What up, girl? How's your Sunday? How's it going? Dana said, oh gosh, Tara, lately I've been hearing voices and doubting it. OMG. Well, this is the sense that's coming in. Caitlin said, this is so mind blowing. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa saying, Caitlin, you're a sweetheart. Janine, hello, hello. Susie's Sharebug's asking if this is the end. We're just in our super chats and super stickers right now. And actually, Lisa has asked if anybody would like a message. So she has offered that up. So I'd be more than happy to give somebody a message from Lisa's kindness. Dana said, that's me, Tara. I'm crying in my hypnosis session. One past life, I was a Native American man with a family. OMG. And then, okay, so Susie said, Caitlin is next via Lisa. All right, excellent. And Dana said, I'm so much in tears right now. Hopefully happy tears. Gina says, but not got any cards on me. Hey, no worries. Could just download those messages. Dana, okay, okay. Okay, so Caitlin's question is, I would like a message from mom and gran, please. Sure, let's do that. Dana said, this is a thank you, Tara. I'm in tears. All right, and then we have Kayla. Okay, so let's look at Caitlin's question first, and then we'll go to Dana, and then we'll go to Kayla, and we'll continue on. Okay, a message from mom and gran. Let's see. Ooh. All right, so we have wild boar spine, actually. So one of the vertebrae fits as a little ring. Okay, so let's dive into wild boar energy from mom and gran. What holds you up? They know what holds you up, but both women are asking you, Caitlin, what is your foundation? If the spinal cord is what holds up the human, it's what keeps us upright, it's what gives us our flexibility of mobility, right? Let's make it more symbolic. Let's make this symbolic. What holds you up? What do you fall back on in times of stress and hardship? When you feel hopeless or discouraged, what do you fall back on? What would you say is your foundation? What is your pillar of strength? Both women are saying that it is very, very important for you at this time to look at your strength and your foundation. What do you look to when you want to feel comforted, when you want to feel strong? What is that? And if you say, well, sometimes I look to my mom and gran because they're saying you're probably, we're in there somewhere. You may look to us for strength, but they're saying it's time to start looking at things within you and not outside of you. And although we'll always be a part of you because we all share the same energy, what is it also in you that you can fall back on? For some people, they can fall back on their confidence, they fall back on their self worth, they fall back in knowing that this is only temporary and we're all one. Some people fall back on their higher self. They're asking you to have a really good look at your foundation. And sometimes there might be some things, and they're saying there are actually some things that maybe you want to tweak in that foundation, what you consider your foundation, what you consider your strength. Because as times continue to change, and they say as they will, change isn't going to stop. These trials and tribulations aren't going to stop. And so, if that is going to be a constant, then we do need something that is going to be the best type of foundation for us, the most solid foundation, the thing that will hold us upright in the most best way possible for us and what we're going through in our mission. And so if you felt less than supported and the foundation feels shaky, then we need to fix it. And they're saying, but remember, we're here with you because we are already a part of you. Always. So it's a wonderful time to have a little meditation, to journal, not just once, but this is an ongoing process, they're saying. And they're just showing me like with like a construction job. Like they're there with you trying to build a new foundation. It's time for a new foundation. The old slab is cracked. It's time for a new one. All right. Okay. Thank you to Caitlin's family members for coming on in. Okay, so let's go back here. Do 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 do. Um, Dana said, do do do. There's Kayla. Dana said, "Wow, gosh, Tara, I'm beyond grateful for you. Thank you. I'm speechless." All right, so then Kayla was next, and then Dana. Lisa says, "Muchos gustos." Susie said, "Sherrybug, sorry I didn't see that. Yes, close to the end." And Sherrybug is doing good. It got some yard work done, planted a couple holly bushes and resting now. That is so cool. And Caitlin said, Carenza and Vivian. And Lisa said, wild boar is my spirit animal. Wow. And Janine said, I would like a message of my mom, please. She missed my son being born and my 30th, 40th, 50th birthdays, but I think about her every day. All right. So, yeah, we do have the super chats and super stickers. We could definitely look into that. And Caitlin says, I try to find meaningful connections. Family makes me happy, but I don't have family. So maybe that's why they're saying it's time to kind of restructure then that foundation, because if you're feeling like you're missing something and that's the something that you fall back on, then we have to rearrange it. Okay. So Kayla, Dana, and Janine. All right, got it. And Caitlin says, I'm trying to get myself together with this whole Social Security thing. Plus, I need to try to make myself somewhat financially stable to pay off the house taxes. Wow. And Lisa asking Janine if she is in the UK. And then Sherry Bug. And Lisa says, I'm having a small tequila with Santa Muerte. Hey, there you go. All right. So, Kayla, then, do you have a question or would you just to see what animal medicine comes through for you? Um, So yeah, so okay, so it's Kayla, Dana, Janie, and or Janine and Sherry Bug. Okay. All right, all right. So Ginny, all right, excellent. Okay, I'll just get the bones ready, um, and get some water too. Okay, so Kayla says whatever comes through. All right, you got it, girl. Okay, animal medicine coming through for Kayla. All right, so this little bone here is actually coyote bone. As you know, coyotes are in the canine family, so a lot of canine energy around you, girl. All right, so let's see what coyote has to say. Coyote. They said, we have fun with our work. It's not that we have work and then we have fun. We have fun with our work. And they're reminding me of when I hear them at night when, there's the one coyote that's like, "Arr, arr," and then they all start, "Yip, yip, 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 yip," and they all get going. And it's like they all wake up around, 6, 7 p.m. or so, sometimes a little bit later now because the sun's up later. And then it's their time to go out and hunt, right? That's their work. They have to go out and hunt. They have to go feed themselves. They have to go back and, feed the pups in the den. So they have a lot of work to do. And they said it could be very serious business. They said sometimes wolf can be rather serious. They said, but that's how we distance ourselves from wolves sometimes. They said the wolf has a mission and it has laser focus and it's like, I gotta go do this. Not that wolf doesn't play, but they said we have a lot more fun, we think. They said, so while we're on the hunt, we may tease each other. Sometimes we do false calls where we'll do a call that we found something like for dinner, and then everybody will come running over and we'll be like, tricked you. They said, so we do play with each other. And although, yes, we have a finite amount of time, just like you would have a finite amount of time in your day to get things done, we still find ways to make it fun. We still find ways to play. So by the time it's time to go back and go to sleep, we don't feel mm, beat. We could be tired, like our muscles would be tired. We might have gone on a really far journey by the time we come back to the place that we sleep, but we're not mentally beat. We're more just kind of physically. But we still feel good. We're in high spirits. And that's because we were able to seamlessly mesh our play with our work. And so Coyote is asking for you to do that at this time, is maybe not segregate the two things, that this is my me time, this is my play time, but this is my work time. Let's say, and it doesn't, they're not saying necessarily like a work as like your career, but anything that you consider work, like cleaning up the house, got to get the vehicle cleaned, anything on your to-do list, grocery shopping, actually going to a job. How can we make that more fun so that by the end of the day, you're not exhausted? And if you are tired, you're tired in a good way. Like, man, it was a good day. I got a lot done, but also I was able to do this for myself. And also I had a good time with this person. I called this person up and, had a little mini 5-minute conversation. We told a couple jokes and that was great. Or maybe you played a little trick or something. Actually, they said like practical jokes are kind of like our forte. So they said maybe you want to incorporate that a little bit more, but they're feeling like that would be more beneficial for your energy at this time, helping to keep everything balanced, your mental energy, your physical energy, your spiritual energy, emotional energy. All of that would be in much more balance if you meshed two together instead of seeing them as two separate entities, play and work. And they're really encouraging you to play more practical jokes. Like they really are. They're saying, you know, they don't need to be mean jokes, of course, but they said everybody loves a good practical joke. They said even if it was one of those rubber chickens that you put underneath somebody's butt before they sat down, they're saying just have fun. The sillier, the better, because it makes work that much more enjoyable. Work doesn't become work anymore. It just becomes something that I do when I'm having fun. All right. Thank you, Coyote. I love those guys. They always have the best messages. Okay. Let's see here. Do, do, do. Um, Lisa says, love you, Sherry Bug. And Sherry Bug says, looking for a message from what I think is a new guide. Don't know what type. It's an ancestor, land spirit, a deity. Okay, we'll definitely look into that as well. So Susie's reminding me. So it's Dana, and then Janine, and then Sherry Bug will get to your question. So Susie's asking Dana what her question may be. And Lisa's saying, Susie, you're on my mind. Glad you're safe, girl. Susie says, I think Dana was a bonus. Thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. Kaylin says, I don't usually pull a card for myself like this, but I felt called, the Oracle of the Fairies, and got tree wisdom. The tree dryad will help you navigate through your current situation. Her flute can. Um, oh, okay. So then it would be Janine and Sherry Bug then. Oh, reveal insights and answers through the sounds it makes. Well, thank you. Thank you, Dana. Thank you so much. Okay, so then we'll go Janine and Sherry Bug. Kayla, you're very welcome. Thank you. And thank you, Coyote, for helping you out. Little canine message there. All right. So, Janine, what was your question? And we'll pull from my little bag of bones. And then, Sherry Bug, we'll definitely look into that guide. What is this new guide that's coming through? And I'll have a little bit more water here. And maybe a, I keep playing around with my karambit because it's like, you kind of like, I love just like messing with this thing. It's so fun. It's like a fidget toy that's dangerous. Let's see. Okay, so Susie's asking Janine to please retype her question. Lisa's saying, message from Wild Boar. Hey, there we go. Oh, okay. So Susie's saying Janine's message, or was asking for a message from her mom. Okay, excellent. Let's do it. All right, Janine, here we go. Whoa, okay. We actually have another piece of the bear anatomy here. Okay, so yes, message from your mom. So another piece of bear here, but obviously different. So let's dive into this one from your mom. Okay, okay. So what your mom is showing me is it's like a movie scene. You have a small child, and there's a storm outside. There's lightning, there's thunder, it's loud, it's rattling the windows. The child is scared. The child knows what's going on out there. The child knows that there's a storm. They're well aware of it. They've, went to school, and elementary school, they teach them about thunder and lightning. So they know what it is, but it still frightens them because it's loud, because of how it makes them feel. And so the parent comes in, your mom comes in and holds you and somehow is able to make that storm that at once you perceived it as being frightening and scary, and able to relay it to you in such a fashion that now it becomes a fun thing. Now that you look at the storm, it's not so bad. Okay, so the thunder I hear is just bowling going on. The rain is somebody watering their flowers up in heaven. The wind is just, the angels or fairies blowing in the sky. Okay. And although, yes, you know that there is a scientific reason for all of that, the young child knows this, it's still comforting to have a different perspective on the matter from the mother. And so your mom is saying that this is an approach that you can take with yourself now. As a child, it's hard for them to comfort themselves. That's what the parents are for. When the child is scared, the parent is there. When the child is sick, the parent is there. But when the parent is no longer there, she's saying, we're hoping that all of the ways we taught you to care for yourself, all the ways that we cared for you, now take that and how can you care for yourself in that manner? Maybe you're no longer scared of the storm that you see outside, but sometimes we have a storm raging in our lives. We have things that frighten us. And although we know there is an explanation for it, it still is rather scary. It still frightens us. And so maybe we don't have that parent there that we can call up and they can wrap their arms around us and say, it's going to be okay. She's saying, I've done it for so many years. You should know how to do it for yourself now. Not that I'm gone, I'm never gone. Just like I was speaking with Caitlin, we're all a part of you. In what way can you comfort yourself at this time? And the better you get at comforting yourself, showing yourself that there's nothing to be afraid of. This comfort comes within knowing your inner strength, who you truly are, so that when those storms, those metaphorical storms arise, you can look at it and be comforted in knowing that you have the fortitude, you have the strength, you have the willpower, you have the intelligence, you have all of the keys to help you through that storm. That there is your comfort. Your mom was saying she raised a really strong child, but sometimes it was really hard for that child to see that strength. And now the child has grown up. And this is a time for you to see what she could see. Because once you can see it, that same comforting energy that you received from your mother as a child, you'll feel it once again, except the arms around you are yours. All right. Thank you, Janine, allowing me to connect to your mom. Wow, she's got some powerful energy there. She brought some tears to my eyes. Thank you for allowing me to connect to her. Um, wow. Um, oh, Caitlin's off to go eat. Well, have a fun lunch. Okay, so Sherry Bug, a message about who that new guide is. Okay, we'll definitely take a look. Lisa says, feed well, girl. Night, daughter. Susie said, thank you all for being here and contributing to the chat. Yes, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's take a look. Sherry Bug, who is this new guide? Let's see, let's see. And then I brought one of my favorite instruments for our healing today. Oh, okay. Oh. Hey, you got the little one. This is excellent. Um, okay, she's back. So this little bone right here, I don't know if you can see it, Sherry Bug. This is a rat jaw. All right. So one of the smallest bones actually that I have in that bag, but that just kind of popped up into my hand. So let's see how this connects to your new guide. Who is this person, this energy? Let's see. Okay, so I'm getting more of that land spirit that you were speaking of. And I don't feel that this new guide of yours ever incarnated into human form, but they're more of just an energy. And they're showing me just much like the rat when I think of these actually really intricate rat nests that we have around here. They actually look like gnome homes. So I think they look really cool. They're saying that's what we're this guide now is in charge of helping you. You're in a phase of building something new. And although yes, you've been kind of in a growing phase for a while, You're building kind of a home for yourself. It doesn't need to be a physical home, but just like what I was speaking in the last reading to our friend Janine, um, building a place of safety for yourself, a place where you feel grounded, that you can come back to when times get tough, when you feel confused, when you're upset. But this home is built from pieces of you, pieces of your energy and your truth, who you know yourself to be. And they say that this land spirit, just like Rat, is really ingenious. And although sometimes the things that you share and the energy that you embody, sometimes people are uncomfortable with, just like with rats. They're uncomfortable with rats. But it has nothing to do with your appearance or actually anything that you said. It's your energy. You're getting to a phase where you're in this home that you're building for yourself, which is your body, your temple, where you're really starting to understand who you are. And some people are frightened by that because they don't know yet who they are. And if they don't know who they are and they come across somebody who is sure of themselves, they know what they want to do next, they want to learn more, that can be quite scary because you're challenging those other people's egos. So they said, just like rats, some people don't want to get to know us. They just want to call us something dirty, that we're carriers of disease and nothing more, that we can't teach you how to be ingenious, we can't teach you how to work together, but we can teach you all of these things. So this is, like I said, it's a land spirit. It's more of just an energy, and it wants to teach you how to continue embodying your energy and not be thwarted by people who aren't ready to embody theirs. All right. Thank you, Rat, and thank you, Land Energy. Sorry, it's gotten a little bit windy here. Um, let's see. Oh, Liesl's cooking now. Sherry Bug's like the rat jaw. Wow. Caitlin is just watching while she eats. And she says, Susie, have you ever tried Lily's microwavable sandwiches? Lisa, unfortunately, they're American based only. Susie said, no, but I'll look for that brand. I do eat sandwiches. Yum. Janine said, thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you, Susie. Caitlin says, Susie, they come in 4 varieties: grilled cheese, cheeseburger, grilled ham and cheese, and grilled turkey and cheese. And Lisa said, well said, Tara, and the channel. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Rat and Land Spirit. Sherry Bug said, OMG, this is so spot on. I'm completely building, and I actually was thinking it much the land spirit. It feels like a raw power, and yes, my energy has been growing. That is so cool. And Lisa said, no, but I love grits. All right, you guys. We've gone to the healing portion at the end of our journey here. Oh, hello. Who are you? One of our birds. Maybe it was a mockingbird that just went by. Okay, so I have my tongue drum here. I thought I'd play us a little bit. Maybe I'll lower the camera so you guys can see. Doot. There we go. Um, and for this, I'm just going to guide you guys into just a quick grounding. But I want you to feel into the sound. Since we were talking about Dana and Claire audience, feeling into the sounds, the vibration, and that'll show you where the healing needs to go. Of course, you can push this healing out to other people that are in need as well. But also allow it to flow into you. Where do you need it? Sometimes people need it in the physical body. Maybe they need it in their spiritual body or their emotional body, mental body. But we'll see where it goes. All right. So you guys find a nice, comfortable space. Angela's here. Hello. This is blessings and hugs. I'm so late. How are you guys? Doing well? You've come right on time for the healing, girl. This is love and hugs to everyone. Happy Sunday. I manifested you all. Love, light, healing, cake and ice cream today. Excellent. Sherrybug says, I've lost a couple people recently from my life because of my growth. It's okay because their time is over. Thank you, Rat and Land Spirit. That's beautiful. That's awesome. Yeah, I agree, Sherrybug. Sometimes certain people aren't meant to be in our lives forever. They've come for a time. We learn from each other, and then we move on with the things that we've learned to help enhance other people's lives, for the people that have left and for you. All right. So get yourselves nice and cozy. You could be sitting down, sitting under a tree, lying on your bed, sitting on the floor. We're going to bring our awareness to our breath. And if you need to, you can take your hand and place it right on your heart space, your left hand. Feel the thump, thump of your heartbeat. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. So much going on that we sometimes aren't even aware of it. All the physical body systems, the heart pumping that blood, that koyopa energy throughout our human form, the breath that fills our lungs with life, which also reminds us to exhale and release stagnant energy. All the organs doing what they know how to do because they are connected to Source, because we are connected to Source. That is the only way this body functions. It functions on intuition, the intuition of the organs, the intuition of the cells, the intuition of the blood, of the mind. All here to remind us that we are an intuitive body. We have been, we always will be. Continue breathing in and out, just like the wind that's blowing here. And now we open up this heart space to receive healing wherever it is in our life or our body that we need healing. And know that you can also project this healing for others that you love and care for, or even people that we don't even know. This healing is for everyone. right, you guys, go ahead and bring your essence back into your body. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring yourself back. And I thank you guys all for joining me here today. I love spending my Sundays with you guys. I hope you had a great time. Thank you for everybody who allowed me to read for them. Lots of beautiful messages coming through from your loved ones, from your spirit guides, from your animals. Thank you. Thank you. I hope that you guys that are off having lunch, have a wonderful lunch, have a good rest of your Sunday, have a fabulous week. Don't forget the messages from Wally's World. Tap into that higher self that has your best and highest good at heart. And so follow that, continue opening up those clairaudience, and be reminded that all of our loved ones that have crossed over are always with us. They're right here. They are a part of our energy. They will never leave our energy. All right, you guys, I love you all. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys.